Legos for adults. Legos for adults. Hey, Stacey here. We're about to build something magnificent, and I'm excited. You hear that? Oh, a package and a package and a package, because this wasn't another package. Talk about protecting your product. I like that. How cute. Look at this. Oh, Legos for adults. That sounds beautiful. Oh. Today we're gonna answer a few LGBTQ plus related questions. Tell you a little bit about my coming out story while I build this beautiful rainbow star. WEBRICK recently launched this rainbow star decor piece specifically designed to support and recognize the LGBTQ plus community. So we're gonna get to building this today, right now, aquí y ahora. I'm excited. It's so cute. Look at it. Stop it. I really appreciate what this stands for, and it touched my heart when I read that. This represents hope and joy in rainbow colors. And it made me smile to know that with this rainbow star, it encourages inclusivity, respect, and acceptance for everyone's differences. I think that's absolutely beautiful and very much still needed these days. I've always loved Legos as a child, so I'm sure that if you're the same, you are going to love this. This is actually a very smart idea for somebody who needs to get their mind off of things, perhaps building this. Maybe it's a way to relieve your stress, anxiety in a moment of you just can't shut your mind off. Maybe you gotta distract your mind with building a little rainbow star, and then you have a cute little decor piece to place wherever you want. All right, so let's get started. Let me open this. Oh, look at the little thank you card. Let's see. Dear Stacey Solis, that's me. We express our gratitude for your support and cooperation in promoting LGBTQ equality. Your endeavors are instrumental in creating a society that is more diverse and inclusive. Thanks, your WEBRICK. Aw, thank you. That's very sweet. Here we are. All that we need to build this. I might just have to lift this up. Nah, I got this. This is gonna be where the eyeballs go, for sure. Without a doubt, has to be where the little eyeballs go. In the middle, right there. Oh, and the little end piece. You know what? Forget directions. I mean, if you need them, please use them. But I don't think I'm gonna need them. Oh, I love that. So let's get started into the whole story, my story. Basically, oh gosh, that was very long ago. Señorita, please. Okay, thank you for cooperating with me. And then this would go right here. Oh my goodness. Look, I didn't even need instructions. I'm proud of myself. Okay, wait, hold on. No puedo cantar Victoria just yet. Oh my, and we have an eyeball. We have our first eyeball. We need the little whites, don't worry. I'm gonna get that, but I'm just pretty, look at that. I did not have anybody that I could feel comfortable going to when I was growing up and figuring myself out. I do have a coming out video. The full story is on there, but I'll give you a quick background. Basically, I always had an attraction for the females. When I was little, I just thought it was admiration, like many of us might feel, men included. Maybe we just thought it was admiration. Oh, it's a very pretty girl, and that was that, and there was nothing else to it. So for me, I didn't really think much of it. I figured it was just that, just an attraction, just to I want to be like her when I grow up. And it's so funny because there's this quote that I remember seeing that was then I realized I wanted to kiss her, right? Then I realized it was more of actually I'm attracted to her to the point where I would like to kiss her. In junior high, I experienced a few feelings of why am I attracted to this girl? Why do I like being around her? Why do I like making her laugh? Or just attraction. Two eyes. It was different because I didn't feel that way for my friends. I loved my friends, of course, and I was excited because we would have fun and laugh and stuff, but it was always a different feeling, and I always recognized that. I always could tell it was just different. Then I got to high school, and in high school, I would see couples and I was like, that's actually a thing. I thought I was just, something was wrong with me. I knew that to some degree it existed, but I never saw it firsthand till I got to high school. And that's when I was just oh wow, okay. And I was a little bit more intrigued, and I was like, huh, all right. Yeah, I lived a double life pretty much for a very long time. And when I say double life, I mean I went behind my parents' back to date a girl, and I never told them. I never told anybody in my family. And it wasn't I was always a good kid. I was never it wasn't anything that was too worrisome. Interesting enough, this looks darker on the actual thing, but it's more of what color would you call this? Fuchsia? Yeah, fuchsia. I had feelings for a girl and I just could not hold back from feeling the way that I did. And I just did my own thing. And I did that for years and years and years and years until one day I needed somebody because I needed somebody to talk to. I needed my family because I was going through a heartbreak. And in the moment, my family was there for me. And you already know, parents always know. So my mom already knew, and I didn't even say the words. I just was telling her about the heartbreak that I had gone through. And in that moment, my mindset was I have nothing else to lose and I don't care about any of that. I just need comfort from my mom and my sister who was there at the time too. And that's how it happened. And for a bit, my mom was in denial. She didn't want to talk about it. My dad had already passed away by then. It had been 2 years since my dad had passed away. I never got to tell him. I'm sure he probably knew. If you're listening, Dad, yeah, I'm sure you probably know. Or maybe you see it. And I understood that it's a process. Parents do have to go through a process as well. And that's why we should do our best to stay understanding of that, even though it may be very triggering to you. Maybe it may be very hard for you, but we should also have compassion for our family members that are having a hard time. And it doesn't mean that you have to deal with anything that may be mean or negative that they're saying to you or tearing you down or anything like that. You eliminate yourself from that. That's your responsibility to do what you have to do to safely be in a better place for your own mental health, for your own emotional health, for your own physical health. That's important. And I do hope that what I'm saying translates into you understanding that this is a pretty big deal, not just for you, but for family. It can be for families. It's not everybody. It is very important to remember your safety and to remember that you don't have to keep yourself in a place where you're disrespected or you're in danger. And there's ways to go about that, of course, but obviously we're not going to go into it in this video. I think it really needs to be said because a lot of us just take the toxicity, the hurtful behavior. We just feel like because it's our family or our loved ones, we have to stick with them and we have to deal with the bad treatment. It shouldn't be that way. And so in that instance, a lot of us can put ourselves on the back burner and just forget about what's truly important and allow it to continue. And that's one thing that is very important to always remember. What you allow will continue. Nobody deserves to go through that. Nobody deserves to get that kind of treatment. And I don't remember how the heck I got on this topic. What's going on around here, man? Yeah, it sounds like Godzilla flushed the toilet all of a sudden. In the end, after a bit, my mom kind of just came around, and for a while we didn't talk about it, but we're cool now. And she just wants the best for me. She just wants somebody that can treat me well and respect me and, you know, all the cute stuff. So I'm very happy and thankful that that was the outcome of that. And of course, it was scary, but I am living proof, and every single person out there who has come out, we're living proof that things do get better, that it's possible, and that you have the power to make things possible for you. Don't doubt that. That is incredibly important and true. So let's get into building this. I'm gonna take a stab at it. That's what she said. We're gonna start with the purple. I'm really gonna try to not use the instructions. I might take a little peek at the box and stuff. Okay, this is a very tippity top. I know that because I see that here. You know what? This is a little confusing, but there's only like 4 here. A ver, yo no sé. So as you know, Pride is coming up. I'm gonna answer Ali's question that says, have you been to any Pride parades? If so, what was the best part of the experience? I have. I think I've been to 3. And that was way back when I was 18. It was pretty crazy because I will always remember this moment. I went with some of my childhood friends. It was amazing because it's like those childhood friends you grew up with and you got to share that new beginning, so to speak, new life, even though they knew. But it was a really cool experience to experience that with people that have known you for a very long time or just were close to you. That was very sentimental for me, especially looking back at that now, thinking about that. I brought that up because I specifically remember we were in the car and the song that came up and it was just perfect was Katy Perry's song, I Kissed a Girl. We were all jamming to it. The first time I ever went to Pride was LA Pride, and it was probably my best experience. Oddly enough, Pride is not really something I go to. It's not really my thing, and I'm not saying that it won't ever be. Maybe perhaps down the road it might be. So I went to LA Pride twice. I went to Long Beach Pride, I think once or twice. And Long Beach, obviously, it's a bigger Pride. It's pretty cool. But I would have to say the best experience was just being there and looking around and saying everyone here is just so happy and accepted, and it's just this feeling in the air that's just like I was never alone this whole entire time. We get all these happy faces. We're all here for the same reason, celebrating the same thing, being ourselves and being able to feel like we can be ourselves, not having to worry about somebody's judging or our parents are not accepting or this or that, or I can't be myself. It just always felt like when I was there, everybody was just so happy, so upbeat, so just feeling grateful and just happy all around to just exist without any of the other things that may come attached with coming out or being in the LGBTQ plus community. So yeah, that's that. I'm also on a time crunch because I have to film this before everybody gets back. Can you just imagine the brilliant mind that had to put these together piece by piece? Okay, we've got part of the leg. We've got a lot more to go. Okay, we have that piece, and we need another one. It's gonna go her. So tell me, do you like Legos? Did you ever play with Legos? Are they not your thing? Is it too much for your brain? That's okay if it is. It's not for everyone. We've got 2 more. Is it really that tall? Goddamn. I'm gonna say this goes here. And I could totally be wrong right now. All right, let's start with the blue now. The next question comes from Sour Patch 103 asking, next Pride meetup. Well, fine, because I was just talking about how I don't really go to Pride and it's not really my thing to go to Pride. I would love to have a meetup at Pride. If you are interested, let me know. Maybe I can make something happen. Maybe. Next question is from Maria, and it says, how to come out when you have a very religious family? This question is always tough because for many of us, family is everything. For many of us, our family are our best friends. And to possibly be disowned is like one of the most hurtful things to think about. It's scary because what do you do when your family is everything for you? But you also need to always remember that you have every right to be happy, to do what you have to do to make sure that you get to live your life. And you don't stop yourself just because perhaps your family doesn't accept you. It doesn't stop there, and it shouldn't stop there. We are all born to have our own journeys. We're all born separately. We all come into this life in our own bodies to experience life the way that we desire it to. It's so often that so many people, and for their own reasons, decide to block themselves off from truly living, and they're scared. And of course, we can't blame them, but it is something that is so sad to see because everybody deserves to experience love, and sometimes that's gonna mean that your parents are not gonna accept you, your family's not gonna accept you. But that really comes down to, are you gonna allow that to be your truth? Are you gonna allow that to be your life? Or are you gonna allow yourself to live? Sometimes that really does mean that you have to just eliminate what it is in your life that's not allowing you to be that. And like I said, sometimes that's going to be family members that won't accept you, that don't want to accept you, or friends. Have the courage to really ask yourself, what's more important? Do you want to go about life being bitter? Things like that really do cause you to be bitter, really cause you to have resentment towards your family. And I feel like it's just not worth it. I feel like if you're going to be resentful towards your family, why not instead just go out and live your life and allow them to not accept you if they don't want to accept you? Because at the end of the day, they're missing on an amazing human being. And whilst it might suck at the beginning, at least you're living for yourself. At least you're not going to look back and regret that you never did anything for yourself because you were always so scared what your parents were going to say and that they were going to disown you. Ask yourself, would you rather be in that position, or would you rather be able to look back and be like, regardless if I had my family around me or not, I was able to move forward and I found love. And those feelings of love are irreplaceable, are the best things that have ever happened to me. And I am so grateful and I'm so thankful. It's much better than me having this hate towards my family. It's much better than me having to feel these feelings of dying inside because I just can't be out there living my life with somebody that I love, that my family just can't seem to accept. I know that for many it's easier said than done, but if you really want something, don't hold yourself back. If it needs to go as far as having a conversation with them, totally do it. Just be like, listen, this is who I am. I'm not gonna stop myself from living my life because that hurts me more than living to make you guys happy. Perhaps giving them time is exactly what they need. Maybe that's what it will take for you to make the decision to say, with you guys or without you guys, I'm gonna live my life and I'm gonna be happy. And you guys are welcome to be in my life. You guys are welcome to experience the me who I really am. But I'm not gonna stop living my life to please anybody else. As much as I love you guys, as much as you guys are dear to my heart, I'm not gonna do that to myself because I don't want to end up unhappy. Because I value my happiness, I value myself as I am, and I'm not going to allow anyone or anything to tear me down to that point anymore. And listen, if you do, hey, it's all part of life. It's all part of your journey. There's no right or wrong way to go about your journey. It's what works for you. And along that journey, there's gonna be so many trials and tribulations. There's gonna be so many things that happen to you. It's all in who you are as a person from every day forward. That's important. important. So that's why I say go out and be yourself. Go out and love who you want to love, because time on this earth is so damn short. And think of how much it would hurt you to just take one look back and say, I wasted all this time caring about what others thought, caring about what others would say, when I could have spent it loving who I wanted to, experiencing those beautiful, amazing feelings that come with love, loving myself, allowing myself to just be and not have that burden on me 24/7 where I just couldn't be, I couldn't exist. Again, it comes down to how bad you want it. Value yourself enough to understand that just because they're your family, again, it does not mean that what they say is everything right. It does not mean that what they say is how things should go. I hope that helps. I don't know, I just get so passionate about that because I understand the respect for your family. I understand that part, the love, that's blood. But I also understand how terrible it is to have to hide, and how taxing that is, how stressful that is, how deteriorating to some point that is. I also understand what it's like to be free, to live my life without having to worry about hiding that part of me and be able to love that person completely, or bring them home to meet my family or friends. I know what it's like to feel happy, to be able to just experience that part of me and experience love in a whole new way that is separate from having to hide. There is a little bit of that when you do hide, obviously. So I need to turn this way. Thank you very much for your cooperation. I'm over here sounding like Miley Cyrus in that one video. I don't even know if I did this right. Where are the other pieces here? But as you can see, we're just winging it. There's something so peaceful to me about building puzzles. I freaking love puzzles. And stuff like this, like building Legos. I just love it. I don't do it much right now, but gosh, when I do, does it make me happy? No, it is. It has to be. Stop it, there's a hair. Oh man, I love this. Oh, look at it. That is awesome. Next question from Maria, and it says, how to find love when you feel like there's no chance because of past disappointments. This is something I feel all of us at some point in our journey experience, especially when it comes to love. I've learned a lot of things when it comes to love. The one that I have seen a change with is in changing how you view love, changing how you view others. Just because one person or two people or three people or four effed you over doesn't mean that everybody's the same. But self-concept is a huge, huge thing. How you view yourself. If you believe that you're gonna get with somebody in the future and they're gonna end up doing the same thing, trust and believe that they will end up doing the same thing. Let's just put it this way. You got to learn to love yourself first and foremost. That's how you find love. You find love by loving yourself first. Fully, completely. Let's be honest, everybody knows that we should start there, but we don't do it because we don't want to open up old wounds. And I get it. It's not the most exciting thing to go within and discover that you have abandonment issues because perhaps one of your parents left each other and you felt abandoned, and ever since then you kept that within you, not maybe consciously realizing it, but it was always there. In one way or another, it showed up in your life. Perhaps maybe you didn't really see it, saying, oh my God, this is my abandonment issue. This is why it's happening. So I'll give that to you, that it's not the most exciting thing to go within and try to see why you're feeling that way. Really go in with yourself. Learn that this all starts with you. It really does start with you. And if you have always been blaming yourself because of how others treated you, it starts with inner work. It's so important. Not only is it important, but the benefits afterwards are 20,000 times better than you could ever imagine. Every single one of us deserves to feel that way because it's beautiful. It's truly amazing. And like when you can really see that and witness it within yourself and really, 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 really and truly fall in love with all that you are, it's amazing because, again, you teach others how to love you by the way that you love yourself. You teach others how to respect you by the way that you respect yourself. You teach others how to show up for you by the way that you show up for yourself. Because how could you ever expect someone to really love you fully and completely and show up for you and respect you when you don't respect yourself and you don't show up for yourself and you don't love yourself? You allow things to happen. You don't put boundaries. You don't put limitations. It's kind of the same thing. That's what it boils down to. One, forget about finding love until you can really look within and work on yourself and work on those wounds that you may have that's bleeding into relationships or the way you see others. And then after that, you can start thinking about dating somebody, and trust that when you work on yourself, you're gonna attract the most beautiful, amazing people that are doing the exact same as you, working on themselves, loving themselves, respecting themselves, wanting so badly to get all of this that they've been working on and give it to another because they gave it to themselves first. When you can do all of that for yourself, give yourself all that time and energy and focus, I promise you, when somebody comes in to give you love, that love is going to be the best love you have ever experienced because it's on a whole other level because you appreciate yourself fully. Now you're appreciating somebody who appreciates the person that appreciates themselves, which is you. That might have been confusing, but If you get it, you get it. You gotta eliminate that fear, and you tackle that by looking in the mirror and realizing that you're so much more than you are allowing yourself to see, believe, and know. I think that's important. So I really do hope that with hearing me say that to you, you really understand that when people say that you need to love yourself before somebody can love you, it is absolutely true. And know that it's out there, know that it can be done. Anything is possible. Anything is really, really possible. And if you could dream it, if you could believe it, if you could see it, you can have it. But it starts with you. Like I mentioned before, I'm like on a time crunch to be able to film this without like my family getting back home. They've got to do their thing, so. And last but not least, Mandy says, no questions, just thank you for being a voice to help with the community. Thank you, Mandy. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. And I wanted to save that for the last part of this because doing that is something that has really helped me. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this, I didn't feel like I had anybody to go to or to turn to when I was trying to figure myself out, when I was trying to understand if this was wrong or what it was that I was feeling. When YouTube came around, I quickly learned that this was a platform where I could share my story, where I could be that person for younger Stacy that needed that. When I started to see that sharing my story, sharing me helped others, I fell in love with that. And still to this day, I absolutely adore, I love being able to help others through my videos, even if it's just one person, even if it's just one person one day. That is more than enough that I could ever ask for, and it really does fill my heart with so much passion. And so thank you, Mandy, for saying that, because it really does light up my heart to be a voice for those who may feel like they're voiceless, and to just be a light in somebody's darkness. So that's why I began, and it quickly turned into more, and I'm forever grateful for that. And I still to this day do my best to help and do that through my videos, through my words, through just being alive. And yeah, so thank you. I appreciate that very much. From here on out, I'm going to just build this, finish it, and I'm gonna do my outro right here in case I run out of time. Thank you so much to WEBRICK. I love what you stand for, and it makes me so happy to have this in my possession. Perfectly in time just for Pride, because we are going into Pride Month, or maybe we're already in it, or maybe we are past it, but regardless, there's no specific time to have this in your possession. I will leave the website down below, as well as their Instagram. All their information will be down below. As always, check them out. I loved this. I'm living two passions here right now. It's three, actually. Creating content, building this. My mind is just so excited right now. I'm just so excited. And getting to answer questions with my advice, it just makes me, it fills my heart with so much joy. So thank you so much. I had mentioned earlier that like it's the perfect way to relieve some stress. Maybe if you are going through identity issues, this is the perfect way to distract your mind. Journaling, going out for a walk, just distracting your mind and doing something for yourself to help yourself get into a better mindset, and to help yourself improve your mentality and your perspective and everything that goes with that. Improve your mental health. But I love this, and I'm so happy that I got to do this collaboration with WEBRICK. Of course, what they stand for is beautiful, so I love it. Do check them out. The art is beautiful. I'm working on it. Just pretend it's here. The art is beautiful. I like the art. I like the quality. I like the colors. It's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time to be alive. So thank you, WEBRICK. I appreciate it. Please do show them some support. So if you see me and I'm still here later down when I end the video, just know why I did it. Thank you so much for those of you who helped me out with this video, because you made such a beautiful part of this video. You helped make this video possible. Thank you to WEBRICK. Thank you to you watching. I do hope this video and what I may have said helped you in one way or another, just in some small form, whether it has to do with LGBTQ plus topics or not, because you know that's what I aim to do every single time. And if you would like to see me in real time, you can check out my Instagram. I'm on there pretty much every single freaking day. So if you want to see more of me, check that out. And of course, as always, don't you go anywhere. Spend a little bit more time with me. There's 2 videos on the screen. I'll see you in one of them. And remember, if there's one thing that I want to call to mind, there are actually 3. No matter the highs, the lows, always be sure, always be certain to do good. Be grateful and stay humble.